Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Another cookery video today. I've only done the 3 cookery videos so far, which was variations on how to make porridge. I think when I do cookery it's going to be simple cooking, possibly experimenting with things I've never done before. I have a plan to do homemade crumpets next week instead of shop bought ones. And the other sort of cooking theme is the kind of food your mum used to make or your gran used to make. Traditional British food, and in my case, given my age, from the 60s and the 70s. So today, the one that I'm going to do is something my mum used to make. And please don't judge us, because it was, as I say, a long time ago now. But she used to do a homemade cheese pie. Basically a pastry base. I've got these two. I've got like a flan dish and a pie dish. I can't quite remember what she used to make it in, but it was quite a shallow dish. Anyway, it's a homemade cheese pie with a little bit of thinly sliced pastry base, grated cheese, thinly sliced onion, topped with mashed potato, a little bit of cheese and sliced tomato on it, cooked in the oven. And we'd have that for our evening meal with a little bit of salad. Salad was pretty useless, I suppose, given all the pastry, potato and cheese, but I always have fond memories of it, and I haven't had it for such a long time that I thought this might be a good meal to start with in the food your mum or your gran used to make category. So I'm peeling the potatoes, which are not the best. They've been in a little bit. I hadn't realised they'd been in quite so long, but waste not, want not. And once you get the skin off them, there's not a right lot wrong with them. So I'm peeling the potatoes, going to get those boiling, and then we'll get on with constructing the pie. And I'll own up at the start, I've only ever made pastry maybe once in my life, and I'll probably have a go at it again on this channel. Now I've got the incentive to have a go at new things, but for today I've bought some of the already rolled out shop bought pastry. So I'll carry on with the potatoes and I'll get back to you in a few minutes. Okay guys, that's the potatoes done. I'll just get rid of these clippings. And drain them. And I know in the past we used to put salt with everything, but I stopped using salt in my cooking a long time ago. So I know it adds a lot to the flavour, but not so good for your health. I'll get those boiling, and I think I'll grate some cheese next. Okay, so we'll get the potatoes boiling for the mash, and we'll grate some cheese. Nothing fancy, just a supermarket mature cheddar. Nice strong flavours. Not sure how much to do, to be honest. As I say, it's 20 odd years since we've had this, since I've had this recipe, or at least. So, make sure everything's clean. Grating cheese, what a job. I didn't really know this was a thing. I thought it was just some random recipe that my mum had made up. But then I typed into Google meals from our childhood, something like that, the other day. And somebody had put on that they remember distinctly having, because I thought mashed potatoes with cheese. I know we live in different times, but even so it seemed like a hot choice. But I looked on the internet and somebody put, oh yeah, I remember when I was at school, one of our staple school meals was basically just cheesy mash. They used to do it in a big sort of pie dish or casserole dish, and they'd cook mashed potatoes mixed with cheese and then just cook it all in the oven. So it's kind of similar to this, really. That's what I remember, was the cheese mixing in with the mash, but then you've got the pastry as well. I suppose it's a bit like an open pie. So 2 pies worth. Yeah, keep going. There aren't many recipes that my mum used to make that I can remember, actually. There were all the usual sort of meat and 2 veg type things, Sunday dinner, but sort of treat meals, we would have this cheese pie, we'd have not terrible bad, but terrible for your health, rice pudding that she used to make, which again I'm going to have a go at. We'd have pancakes on pancake day. But if you do know any recipes that you had as a child, that you think I might be interested in cooking on the channel, then do let me know. I'm a bit more health conscious these days, but we're all entitled to have a treat, right? Tell you what, I think I'll do is I'll grate it all what we don't use, we'll put in a plastic box and save it in the fridge for sandwiches or jacket potatoes. I'm sure there's going to be too much. I know you'll most likely be appalled, but that was a 350 gram block of cheddar, but it is going to be making 2 pies, which we'll do a couple of meals each, so potentially we're getting 4 meals out of this. Okay, so I'll put that to one side and get back to you in a little while once the potatoes are cooking. Okay, I'm just working my way through what I need. I think we need some sliced onion next. I know there's a trick to thinly slicing onion, but it's not one I've ever learned. So I don't profess, by the way, and please don't think I'm a regular cook. I've always cooked food, but it's always been fairly simple. Cooking, I have had a go at doing fancy foods, and I might well have another go at doing fancy foods, but that's not what the cooking on this channel is about. The cooking on here is just me having a bit of fun on my YouTube channel, sharing recipes and getting ideas for recipes off the good folk out there in the World Wide Web. So this is me slicing onion as thinly as I can get it. Are you like me? When you get down to this last little bit, it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And then I think we said some sliced tomatoes for the top, but I'll leave those for the time being. So we'll put that to one side as well. haven't made mashed potatoes for years. I seem to live off baked potatoes these days. Right, I think we're nearly ready to start constructing the pies, but I don't want to do that while the water's boiling its head off, so we'll give it another 10 or 15 minutes. Okay guys, so I'm back with you. I really am not an expert with mashed potatoes. As I say, it's a long time since I've made them, but I've just given them the old knife test, and they're quite soft now. One or two of them are breaking up, so I think they're okay. I'll just drain them. I actually bought some potatoes that said they were nice mashing potatoes. They were more the yellow ones, but we've been using them. It took me so long to make this. I've been going to make this for about 2 weeks. So the white one is actually a baking potato. What a difference! But they look nice and fluffy. Certainly the proper mashing ones look lovely. So back into there, and all I know about how to make mashed potatoes is a little bit of milk, and a little bit of butter. Not too much, because it's bad for you. And of course the 350 grams of cheese, that's not bad for you at all. And then off we go. In fact, we've had this masher so long, I'm not sure if this was my mother's. I don't have much of her cooking things left anymore, really, but I think this is. One thing I would say, she used to do quite a lot of baking, did my mum, and I was never that interested as a child. And you see these people on the internet who, their mums or their grands wrote all the recipes down in a book. And maybe that's not necessary nowadays with the internet, but I just think what a lovely thing to do. So any mums, grands, dads or granddads, if you do a lot of cooking, think about writing it down in a book. It might never get looked at, but you never know, 20, 30 years from now, one of your family could be having a lot of pleasure cooking all your old recipes. Little black things in there. I think, well, no, there you go. I think that's pretty much done. Now, I can't really remember. I think my mum used to put it into an icing bag and pipe it on, and not cover the whole of the pie. I can't remember. But I think that's what she used to do, make like a lattice of potato, of piped potato on the top. For this first effort, I'm just going to put it on like a cottage pie. Or a shepherd's pie. Anyway, that's the potato done. Put the milk away. And as I said, to all you cooking aficionados, I'm very sorry, but I've decided this time to just have a go with short crust pastry. I will have a go with proper pastry at some point in the future. Okay guys, so I'm not sure how much this is going to make, but I'm going to lightly oil these 2 tins with some sunflower oil. Is there a way to do this? I'm not sure if there is. So this is new territory. I've never made a pie or a flan or anything like that in my whole life. I've made mince pies at Christmas. Well, there's an idea. Who knew mince pies weren't a worldwide dish? Are they a British speciality? Or do we have them in the rest of the world? I'm just going to roll this out of its packet and put it onto here for now, so we can see just how much we've got. So we've not quite got enough for 2. So we won't need all that cheese, that's a fact. First time she's back since almost since Monday. We have 2 dogs. Unfortunately, we had to have one of them put to sleep on Monday, and the little dog that's left, she's definitely been sad. Is this how you do it? I think that's how you do it. Must be how you do it. There you go. There we go. That's not so difficult. I remember my mum doing this. I mean, I've had dogs all my life, all my adult life anyway. Since I was in my early 30s. I'm in my 60s now, and it's terrible. It never gets any. If you don't have dogs, then that's okay, but if you do have dogs, maybe you understand it's such a wrench. It's like losing a member of your family, and the dog that we just lost, we only had him 11 months. It was maybe about 10, but it was one of the sweetest dogs you would ever have met. Not got a nasty bone in his body. I really bonded with him, we all did. And he suddenly had a short illness and I had to have him put to sleep. And you have to decide, is it something you want to do? If you do, then get on and keep doing it. If you can't hack the sadness, then, well, you're in the wrong game. Now you see, that's much better. That one, it got a bit thin, so I don't know what effect that'll have. But this one feels so much thicker. Okay. I did send off for a proper, we think she used to make it in a flan dish. So we sent off for a proper flan dish. But I think this pastry was going by itself, I get it very soon. So I had a root round in the cupboards and decided to use what we've got. But I think a shallow flan type dish. There you go, Mary Berry, eat your heart out. Paul Hollywood or whoever's on the Great British Bake Off these days. So there we go. As best as I can remember, because it was never written down, and it does seem, in the way we live now, this does seem terrible. I have to be honest, I've been on a diet for years on and off, and if there's one thing I know, that this is not good for you. So, cheese. Maybe my memory's gone funny on me. Maybe there was more to it than this. Maybe it was healthier than what I'm making. But yeah, thinly sliced onion. And I'm guessing if you don't like onion, I guess you could put what you want in here. You could maybe put peppers in or mushrooms. Is this how you make a quiche? Except a quiche has eggs. So, I say this is not a cookery channel. So if you've tuned in thinking it is, you're in the wrong place. It's an old guy who's taking a break from gardening or hiking or walking the dogs to do a little bit of cooking. Right, so there we go, guys. Short crust pastry, mature cheddar cheese, Save some potato for the top, and save some cheese for the top. Now I say this is where my memory fails me completely, because I think she used to pipe it on. I'm nearly certain, but I can't be certain. So I'm just gonna do it this way. This mashed potato we made earlier. I've done with that on this channel. Go to the oven. Go to the oven for one we prepared earlier. Glad I said that. I think you need to turn the oven on, don't you? There we go. A preheated oven. They say that on all the top cookery programs. This is why I don't do cooking. It's all way too stressful. There's a guy I know who lives local, ever such a nice fella, and I see him from time to time, and he's absolutely convinced I'm a chef. Every time I see him, he asks me, am I still doing the chefing like? And I've never been a chef in my life. The nearest I got to being a chef was when I was 16 and I worked in a hotel and I used to wash the dishes. But that was it. Right, there you go. So, short crust pastry. Mature cheddar cheese, thinly sliced onion, the nutritional value, I have absolutely no idea, but it's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calories per slice. So eat it sparingly. These are a bit well done, aren't they? Well, a bit well done. They're a bit soft. Maybe done with harder tomatoes. Not going to waste these end bits, but I'm not going to put them on either. I'm going to have them with, probably wash them and have them with my salad tonight. There we go. And a little bit of cheese that we have left. I can't believe we've used that. Please don't judge me for using all that cheese. It's supposed to be a cheese pie, so I don't even have dairy much these days. It's very, very, very rare that I have dairy of any kind. But I'm also not some sort of evangelical vegan, so I will cook. I won't cook with meat, I don't think, but I'm quite happy to cook with with dairy. Okay, guys, there you go. The pies that my mum used to make in the late 1960s, early 1970s. Best I can remember. Pastry, cheese, onions, mashed potato, tomatoes on top with a sprinkling of cheese. That's the oven. Yeah, it's warm now, so I'll put these on. I've absolutely no idea how long they would cook for. If you know in the comments, let me know. But I'm gonna try. It's now 2:20. We're on 220 on the oven. So let's give it 20 minutes. Come back and have a look in 20 minutes time and see how it's doing. Right guys, it's about 20 minutes now. So I have actually just done all this, but I hadn't set the camera to record. They're doing nicely. This one I moved from the top to the bottom because it's looking nicely like it's cooking. And the one that was at the bottom, the pastry's still a bit pale, so I moved that to the top. So much easier when they do it on TV and they just walk to an oven in the wall. It's not even switched on and go, here's one I prepared earlier. But they're almost done. Another 10 minutes I think. And I'll be back with you. I'm back. They've been in for about half an hour now, so let's have a look. Nice. Never sure with pastry though, it's not something. Still a bit pale that one. I don't want to get a soggy bottom. I think another five minutes or so. Okay guys, so it's about 35 minutes now, so I'm hoping that these are going to be cooked. This bottom one certainly is, it's looking very nice and crispy. On the outside. And the top one, that was the bottom one, and is now the top one. Yay. Blimey. Yeah, the TV chefs don't have this trouble, do they? The pastry looks nice and cooked. I'll have to move that because it's very hot. To burn the units. go, the first in an occasional series of food I had when I was young. Homemade cheese and onion pie, short crust pastry, cheddar cheese, onion, mashed potato spread on top, a little bit more cheese and tomato to garnish. Unfortunately, as this is kind of live cooking, there's nothing ready to eat just yet, so we'll let them cool for an hour maybe and then come back. There's nothing fancy about it, there's nothing cordon bleu, it's pretty wholesome, pretty fattening, but on a cold winter's evening it's quite a pleasant tea to have with a little bit of salad. We're having some tonight for dinner and probably having it for the rest of the weekend for my pack up for work. But I'll be back in an hour or so when we'll cut into one of them and see whether they're cooked all the way through, and more importantly, what they taste like. See you soon. Bye. Hi guys, I'm back, and it's that all important taste test. Couldn't wait an hour, it's been about 25 minutes and it is only now an hour and a half to dinner, so it's not exactly the right time to be starting to eat mashed potato and pastry, but I'm sure there's not much point doing this if we don't give you an idea what it looks like. One thing I don't know is, and maybe the World Wide Web might be able to help me, do you leave said pies in this pot? We were having a little bit of a disagreement. A layer of cheese, mashed potato, and onion. Seems to be cooked pretty much. Yes, I guess it might be a little bit soggy, but it's nothing give it a go. Oh my word. It's a bit watery, I have to say, from the mashed potato. I think I maybe needed to have drained them a little bit more. But that's just how I remember it. That's lovely. So thanks for watching, guys. This is an occasional cookery series where I do simple food I had in the 60s and 70s as a child growing up, and maybe even experimenting, cooking things I've never cooked in my life before. But thanks for watching. If you did like it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you like this kind of content or anything else that's on the site, then do consider subscribing. It would be a big help in getting me going with the YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything, and as always, if you've got any comments about my pretty lame efforts at cooking, then please leave them below and I'll try and get back to you. But until the next time, I'll say cheerio.